Hi friends, it's me, Missing, from the Shaler North Hills Library, and I got a lot going on with my computer tonight because I'm trying to put some programs together because tomorrow we have Discovering Nature with Miss Jan, so I'm trying to piece together all the different cool clips that she took at Fern Hollow Nature Center. So the computers they're working hard. So I am going live with a book here, but I kind of have to stay near the computer to see if it does anything weird. So I'm in here, so I'm going to try to show you the pictures because this is a pretty cool book. It's called Greta and the Giants. And, there really aren't any such things as giants like this. So this is fiction, but it's based on a real person named Greta Thunberg. And you may have heard about her before. She's a young girl, well, compared to me because I'm old. But she's done a lot of great things speaking up about issues with the environment and how we need to take care of our world and our creation. And so tonight, even though I need to stay by the computer and I can't show you, I'm going to try the best that I can. And one cool thing that I like about Greta Thunberg and just in general is my mom's name was Greta. And Greta was starting to make a name for herself, I believe, after my mother had already gone to be with in the next world. And so, but I know my mom and this Greta would have gotten along very well, and they'll meet someday because my mother loved nature. She loved all creatures, I gotta tell you about it one time. My mom wouldn't kill an ant. I mean, it was crazy. She would say, they're all God's creatures. They're all God's creatures. And it did get a little crazy with ants flying all around. But, snake bugs. My mommy loved snake bugs. It was crazy. She just loved animals. But anyway, I digress. But this is the fictionalized story, Greta and the Giants. And it's by Zoe Tucker. And I'm going to do the best I can to show you the pictures. Whoa. Here we are. There once was a girl who lived in the heart of a beautiful forest. Her name was Greta. Well, one morning, things weren't quite as they should be. Greta stepped out into her yard, and there, huddled together in the shadow of the trees, were all of the animals of the forest. There they were. They were all there. They were looking at her. A soft, silvery brown wolf stepped forward with his tail low to the ground. "Please help us," he whispered. "The forest is broken, and we don't know where to go. The giants are ruining our home." Wouldn't that freak you out? Freak me out. Hi, Roman. Hi, Oliver. The giants had always been there, for as long as Greta could remember. But now they were worse than ever. They were huge, lumbering oafs, and they were always busy. They chopped down trees to build houses. They chopped down more trees to build bigger houses. The houses grew into towns, and the towns grew into cities, and they built factories and shops and cars and planes, and they worked all day and all night until eventually there was hardly any forest left. But the greedy giants, they'd forgotten how wonderful the forest was. They didn't see all the little birds and bugs and butterflies and bears that trembled in the shadows. And no one told them to stop because everyone was scared of them. Well, everyone except Greta. "Will you help us?" asked the wolf. Greta looked around. The animals looked tired and sad. She had to help them, but how? Then Greta had an idea. The next morning, Greta went to the middle of the forest, and she waited for the giants to come, and she stood alone, and she held a big sign, and the sign said, Stop. And she waited. And on the first day, the giants didn't see her, and they just lumbered on by. But on the fourth day, something strange happened. Do you see what happened there? A little boy who'd been watching Greta made a sign and came out and sat down next to her. He didn't say much, but Greta knew he felt like she did. And his sign said, listen. Her sign said stop. His sign said listen. And soon more people and animals saw what they were doing, and they joined in too. And some had signs that said save our forest. And some said signs that our home is on fire. And some said action now. And some said we love our forest. And some said help. And some of the animals said please help us. Before long, a huge crowd filled the forest, stretching out to the city and the roads beyond. They stood together and they waited. And the crowd was so huge that the giants stopped in their tracks. Please stop, Greta cried. Your greedy behavior is spoiling our home. You've broken the trees and trampled the flowers, and now the bees and birds have all flown away. The animals are homeless and our forest is dying. Stop, listen. And after Greta had spoken, everything was silent. But then everyone began to shout, the smoke from your fires is choking our air. You can help plant some new trees. We need to take care of our forest and live together. Will you please try? We need change. We need action now. Save our forest, please. And the giants shuffled, and the giants fidgeted, and they stomped their feet on the ground, and they were embarrassed, and they were a little bit sad. You see, the giants were so busy building, they didn't see what they were doing to the forest or to the animals who lived there. And the giants felt terrible. We're sorry, they said. And they promised to try harder. So from that day on, the giants weren't so greedy. They slowed down and they learned to sit quietly. They stopped working all the time and instead took up new hobbies. They stopped chopping down trees and learned all about gardening and living in the forest. They cooked, they repaired, they tidied, they shared, and before long, the forest became more beautiful than they could ever imagine. Because the giants were with the animals and the animals were with the giants. And it was, they didn't know. And what you don't know, what you don't know. And you can't do something about what you don't know. And so when Greta shared these things with people, a lot of people hadn't realized what was going on and what they were doing. And they hadn't felt that they could be powerful enough to make change. But they did. And I wonder if Greta, young Greta knew, she was about 15 when she started this, if she knew that a young person could make such a big difference. She actually won the Nobel Peace Prize. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's pretty peaceful. But thanks again. I'm trying to, do all this uploading and downloading and all that stuff. And so I do apologize for the strange close quarters and things. But tomorrow, Miss Jan is going to take us into nature in Lemon because it looks like this is working. So that's good. So I thank you so much. And if the environment is something about which you feel strongly and you feel led to help people understand what's going on, then maybe that's a cause you want to take up. There are many wonderful things that you can do to make this world an even better place. You do it already just by smiling, just by being who you are. I love you, my friends. Would you kiss your beautiful brains? Would you kiss your loving hearts? And please, 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 look in the mirror and say, hey, good looking. Because you're all good looking just the way you are. Thank you, friends. Bye.